I started in the business as a 21-year-old kid. I answered this ad in the San Diego Reader. It said, learn Wall Street, we will train.
Was it like just a local wealth management place?
It's in a high-rise in La Jolla. Basically, they took me in the back. Remember the movie Boiler Room? It's like that. It's basically cubicles, no computers back then. This was 1999.
Cold calling people.
It was actually the opposite. So I was calling CEOs of companies and basically offering them our services.
So the business was to get a hold of the CEOs of these large companies and be their marketing arm for their stock.
Exactly. I became the largest fax blaster in America.
Would you have to manually put these fax numbers in?
No, they had a whole system that would basically fax everywhere in America at different time zones, and the SEC did not like that at all.
Welcome to the Bubba the Love Sponge podcast. Today's guest, this week's guest, I should say, is Ben Skull. Now, just to get the promotional aspects all out of the way, Ben has a book called Wall Street Mafia. Is it available on Amazon?
Yeah, it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It goes on 40,000 book sites this week.
Oh, so this is new.
Yeah, it came out end of August, and we're already top 10% on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. Wall Street Mafia, The Absolute Power Corrupts. And by Ben Skull, again, is our guest today. And we're going to talk about the ins and outs and probably shit that we could not even fathom of how Wall Street really works. And the average guy that probably invests in stocks and bonds and shorts and puts and comes and all that kind of stuff doesn't really know how the back end of Wall Street probably works. None of us do. We just know whether our stocks go up or down, or but it's probably so much more to it.
Yeah, exactly. I started in the business as a 21-year-old kid. I was working in a gym and bouncing at night, and these cougars came up to me one night, and they were like, "We see you as a businessman," and kind of put it in my head. And then when I was at the gym, like the next day, I answered this ad in the local San Diego Reader.
Now, what was the ad? Like stockbrokers?
It said, learn Wall Street, we will train. So I go to this interview, and it's two brothers. One of them is looks like George Hamilton, you know, that tan guy?
Yeah.
Who looks like him, all Gucci'd out. And then the brother is kind of the nerdy brother. So I bullshitted, and got the job.
Now, was it like just a local wealth management place, or was it?
It was in a high rise in La Jolla, California. And so basically they took me in the back, and it's just remember the movie Boiler Room? I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's basically cubicles, no computers back then. This was 1999.
Right. So you're just picking up kind of like Wall Street, just cold calling people, trying to sell them various stocks that you guys probably have incentives to sell.
Well, it was actually the opposite. So I was calling CEOs of companies and basically offering them our services.
So the business was to get a hold of the CEOs of these large companies and be their marketing arm for their stock.
Exactly.
And now, and at that time, when there's no apps or YouTube, or how did you market a stock?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I became the largest fax blaster in America.
Fax blaster.
You remember you'd walk in the office and get a free vacation to Florida kind of thing? So I started that way. I met a guy in Canada that had millions of fax numbers.
Would you have to manually put these fax numbers in?
No, they had a whole system that would basically fax everywhere in America at different time zones. And so, it was working, but
so you would sell these CEOs on your fax blaster.
Yeah, we would just tell them it was just marketing,
right?
But yeah, it was fax blasts, and the SEC did not like that at all. Then it transformed to like email blasts,
right?
So then it was like I met the king of spam. In my book, I talk about him. And this guy, I met him in Miami at his house, and it was the first time I saw like a Rolls Royce. And he had all these cars, and he was an old school guy. He was the originator of email blasts.
So are you still fax blasting at this point?
Yeah, I'm still fax blasting.
Out of San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do everything from Canada, but I just get these budgets. I was paying half a cent fax, and I charged the company 5 cents a fax.
All right, so you got like a 4.5 cent markup per fax.
Yeah.
How many faxes could you do a day?
Oh, you could do millions in one night. Yeah, they had servers, and it was.
Now, were they paying that kind of money though?
No, so they did give me a budget of like say $50,000, $100,000, which was like all the money in the world to me at the time. And then I'd turn around and send this guy a wire for like 15 grand or something like that.
Bill.
And then I just started getting a good name in the business. But the guys that I went to work for ended up, after I learned the business.
The Gucci guy and the nerd guy.
Yeah.
Do they have names?
Yeah, it was like Tim and Jim.
Now, did you eventually get put back in one of those little cubicles, and that's how you started?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, you were just part of the
I'd
boiler.
never even picked up a phone before.
Were all of them in the boiler room faxing, or were they some of them calling?
They were calling. They'd do new, like postcards to shareholders.
Right.
Pretty much everything back then, direct mail, all that kind of stuff.
But you were the fax guy.
Yeah, I became the fax guy after I left their firm.
So you didn't become the fax guy on their tab.
No.
Did you kind of invent the fax?
Yeah, I left the firm. They robbed me, basically. They owed me like, 10 grand, which was like $1 million to me back then. And I went to work for their competitor. I made this guy. We did one deal, and it was remember that liquid Band-Aid? It was like you gel it on.
Yeah.
So that company, I think it was called Lamp Pharmaceuticals. I brought him the deal, my new boss. The stock got FDA.
I think it was like liquid skin or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. And so long story short, the stock gets FDA approval. The stock goes completely nuts, and we just got a position of stock for our marketing.
Fee.
Yeah, for our fee. And so
will they do that sometimes and say, listen, instead of paying you 50 grand, we'll give you $50,000 worth of our upstart company stock.
Exactly.
And if something like liquid skin just goes through the roof, you guys fucking killed it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how it was back then. Now it's totally different, obviously. But this was early 2000s, and the SEC wasn't even like aware of email blasts or fax blasts yet. And there was even some guys that would do these voicemails where they would send out millions of voicemails, and it'd be like, "Hey, Jack, this is Bob. I forgot to tell you about this stock," and leave them a voicemail. So then these people thought it was an actual voicemail,
right?
And they'd take the stock and it'd go crazy.
So you're still the fax guy working for a different company across the street from Tim and Jim's.
Yeah,
that fucked you over on 10K. You're in San Diego.
Yep.
And all you're doing is just fax bombing.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people based on your client's budget.
Exactly.
And you're doing that, and then that led you to the email guy.
Yeah.
Did you just happen to meet the email guy, or was it like a set-up meeting?
Yeah. So the broker we had a mutual broker that we were friends with, and I would have all my clients open accounts with him. He's in my book too. And so he took me. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to match you guys up. You do this, he does that. It could be, it could work out great." So we met, and I remember his thumb was cut off and his finger was cut off. And
email blaster guy,
the email blaster guy, right? And we're at his mansion. He's got like Rolls Royces. I'd never, a 21, 22-year-old kid, never saw it. So I asked my broker. I'm like, "Hey, dude, what's up with his finger?" He goes, "Well, the rumor is on the street that he ripped off the mob, and they cut those two fingers off so he could never shoot a gun again." That
was kind of your first introduction into there might be mob ties into this, when you get a hold of the email guy and he has, supposedly his trigger finger and his thumb cut off.
Yeah.
Now, you never asked him about it, did you?
No, I never asked him about it. We became friends and we did a few deals, and he was just a wild character.
So from there, what happens?
So then, like 2005, I'd say 2004, I started my own firm. I had kind of same thing. I had boiler room. I had a bunch of guys calling CEOs. They would essentially open up the CEO for our marketing, and then I'd come in and close them and get them a percentage of the deal and actually get the company results.
Was that going well for you? I mean,
yeah. When I started my own firm, I was like in my late 20s. I went from like when my oldest son was born, I was homeless. I was living on my buddy's couch. And then I was like, "Fuck this. I'm going to start, my
your oldest son was born, you said."
Yeah.
We completely skipped out baby mama drama.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Like, so
her last,
how did you, you skip to all of a sudden my son is born. Well, in order to have a son, you got to be fucking around with some cricket.
Oh yeah.
So how do you get introduced to baby mama?
Yeah. So I actually worked with her. She was like an entrepreneur, and long story short, we got together. I was banging everybody in San Diego at that point. And
I know you making big money at this point.
Yeah. I started making for a 22-year-old kid, I was making really good money.
Right.
And next thing I know, she's pregnant, and I was like, what the hell? So I'm having him.
Now, are you and her still together? Or
no, she was just toxic from the start. Her last name was Satam, Sattam, like Satan. So I used to write on her checks like for being Satan, and stuff like that. And then my bank, I was like San Diego Credit Union's biggest member at that time, and the bank manager called me. She's like, Mr. Port, we can't take this check anymore. Like if you keep writing this stuff.
Oh, for child support.
Yeah,
okay.
she got me through the ringer for 18 years.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and every time I got a new car, I would have to hide it and like so she.
Okay, she could take it back for more child.
Yeah,
anytime your income fluctuates, they can take you back.
Oh yeah. So I had like a Porsche, Aston Martin, and I'd tell Ethan and my son, I was like, don't tell your mom about this. She'd eventually find out, and then next thing I know, it's like an ex parte, like emergency hearing.
Right.
I need more money. So that was like a lot of toxic, like 18 years. As soon as he turned 18, I blocked her number at 7 a.m.
Now, do you and him still have a relationship?
Oh yeah, he's like my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 5 sons.
You have 5 sons.
Yeah.
So you couldn't learn at one. You had
no.
Now 5 sons by how many baby mamas?
Well, the other 4 with my wife, who's a saint.
So you got just 2 baby mamas.
Yes. Yeah.
4 kids.
5 boys.
5.
Yeah.
So you had 4 with your wife.
Yeah.
And 1 with
the devil.
Satan.
Yeah.
and you and your Satan spawn son are close.
Oh yeah, he's a genius. Now,
did he ever get into the Wall Street grind like his pops did?
Yeah. So he actually became he's a really good crypto trader and like top sales guy. Like he's really impressive.
Right now, are you still doing this? And I mean, are you still dabbling in Wall Street?
Yeah, so I still work on Wall Street, but this time I took 8 years off to grow my Jeep company, Skull Crushers, and about 2 years ago, my boss, one of my best friends, since I started the business, he called me and he goes, Ben, I got a position for you opening up in Utah. We do stock loans. And so basically now I switched gears from doing the marketing stuff that was crazy in the early 2000s to now like legitimate work, which is like, doing loans. Say if you're a CEO, you got $1 million of stock, we can do a loan against that position and fund the company.
Rewinding back to the darker side or some of the dark things, that went down when you were just either a mass faxer or starting your own firm.
Yeah.
What's some of your stories?
Oh man. Well, in my book, I call this lady the Russian doll in LA. And she was like this little sweet Russian lady, right, that hired us to do a marketing campaign. And this was like early 2000s, like I think 2008 when the market was crashing. So
when the markets crash like that, are people freaking the fuck out?
Oh, dude, totally. And so I had 2 kind of situations where the market crashed and these clients thought that I was robbing them. And so long story short, we made all this money on this deal this Russian lady hired us on. The next day, I'm at a doctor's appointment for my ears, and I got, I leave some of my cell phones in my car. I come out of the doctor's appointment, and I got about like 85 missed calls from my broker buddy, and I had an office in the back of his building. And he goes, Ben, grab all your guns, grab your vest. He goes, I need to tell you what happened. The Russian lady who we thought was this sweet old lady turns out to be connected to the Russian mob in LA. She thought we had screwed her over on this deal. It was just the market conditions.
Can you explain to a fucking crazy Russian bitch, or she's not want to hear it?
Yeah, so she turned out to be from this sweet little lady that we thought was like this nice lady. I call her like the Russian godmother.
How much did she invest with you?
So she assumed that we owed her I think $600K or something.
Owed her?
Yeah, she basically we did a marketing campaign, got paid. So while I'm at the doctor's, just like a movie, these Russians show up in a black Mercedes, black leather gloves, black jackets. They lock my buddy, the broker, and all his girls that worked for him in the conference room.
Want to know where you are?
No, they're just looking for they're talking to my buddy who's the Sandman in the book, and they're like, you owe us this. So once I get to the office, we're like, holy fuck, and we pull all the marketing data, we pull like trades and this and that. So the guy that locked everybody in the room, this guy, I call him Igor in the book. He's actually tied to the Bidens and that whole situation in Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah. And
so when people talk about the Biden situation, you have firsthand knowledge that he was a shady motherfucker.
Oh, not only a shady motherfucker, but he had ties to the former KGB. I forget, it was like FSB or something. You can Google this. He's like in the news. So he lied to his FBI handler about the Bidens and that whole tax thing and Ukraine thing.
So this is Igor. Igor has ties to Biden. This is but that's way after what he's doing with you right now.
He got arrested like last year. I think he goes to trial like soon.
So he's in your office in San Diego.
Yeah.
And all the girls are locked up.
Yeah, my buddy's scared shitless.
And they got guns and shit?
No, they didn't show any guns or anything. He just said, you have a dinner with us tomorrow night. And so we're like, fuck. So at the time...
Now, are you going through at this point and pulling up on your computer like what they've given you, how you've spent it?
Oh,
we've not fucked you over at all.
Right.
Are they hearing it?
Well, that was the thing. So I said, my buddy said, we got to go to dinner with him tomorrow up in LA. So I pull like a nerd, dude. I pull up all the data, the trades, this and that.
Had you fucked him over or you done it?
No, not at all.
Right.
They just assumed that. They saw this, the buying, the volume, and they thought we were playing games. And the rumor on the street with this Alex guy was that he shoots people in the kneecaps. So that was like the word we'd had. So we were like, normal business guys scared shitless at this point.
And he calls for a dinner the next night.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah. And
to sort this out.
Right. So it was a steakhouse they opened up just for us. I don't know if he owned it or what, but we pull up. So my buddy and I had bought when Chrysler 300s first came out. We were so dumb with money. We bought one and we turned it into a limo. Put Lamborghini doors on it, like just stupid stuff. So we're in the back of the limo. I bring rubber gloves, alcohol, and we're cleaning bullets with rubber gloves on and paper towels loading each gun.
So you have no fingerprints on them?
Yeah, so in case we have to have a shootout, I was fucking ready. And I was so scared. I was like not a tough guy, but I was just like, I'm not going to get killed by the Russians.
Bullets in the back of a 300 Chrysler that's been stretched out to be a limo. And you and your other guys who really aren't gangsters are headed up to talk to some Russian motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And you guys are cleaning bullets in case you get it into a shootout.
Yeah. Vests in the back of the limo. My poor German driver was like, oh, we have a busy night tonight, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, here, dude. So he saw all kinds of shit. But yeah, that was, so we get to the dinner and we just start drinking and making him laugh. I come with like a stack of spreadsheets. Like, I'm like, hey, this is like, so he realizes, he goes, he's like, oh, maybe it's, the Russian doll. And I'm like, dude, we didn't screw you over. So we became friends with him, and my broker buddy became really good friends.
So did Igor go back and tell the Russian doll that she was wrong and that you? Well, that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
that could have gone sideways for you.
It was a little scary.
Now, at this point, had you fucked anybody over?
No. So my whole career, I never fucked anybody over.
You never been to prison?
No, I got served probably like 7 to 8 subpoenas. They would do it. The feds would do it every Friday. So they fuck up your whole weekend. So my UPS guy was like my buddy, and he goes, do you want this today? I go, no, bro, give it to me Monday.
To serve you.
Yeah. So I never did anything wrong in the business, but I was around a bunch of guys that did, or I was around wise guys and bikers and all this stuff. But the reason why I was so good in the business is because I never screwed anybody over. And so I had respect in the business.
And did you ever turn on anybody? Or
no, I always took the fifth. The last time I met with the SEC, they had a file on me that was like this thick. This was like 2000 or something. They had like my aliases, website, you name it. They had it on me. It was pretty.
But at that point, were you doing anything wrong?
No.
Were you in the gray area?
It was a little bit of a gray area because I was marketing for companies. They were OTC, and basically OTC companies can't market the same way a NASDAQ company does. So just like the movie Wolf of Wall Street, we're in the OTC market.
Which is, the Wolf of Wall Street portrayed that world as really gray.
It was great.
Right. I mean,
sure.
Were you living the Wolf of Wall Street type life?
My wife and I went and saw the movie when it came out, and I sat this way, she sat that way, and it was super awkward because it was so close to like my life. Not as much money, but I mean the hookers, the coke. I crashed a Beamer through my neighbor's roof.
Hookers love coke, don't they?
Oh my God, they love it.
When did shit start getting crazy?
Shit started getting crazy in like 2005 till 2008. So I was getting subpoenas. Everybody I knew was getting subpoenas. They were watching. Like, so how it kind of worked was, essentially the brokers would set brokerage firms in Panama, Belize, Bahamas. We were everywhere. Colombia, they had a call room.
Brokerage firms, you would say, like, would there actually be would it be people there?
Yeah, so there'd be like a small office there doing trades. And so
now, is there an advantage to run it offshore than there is?
Yeah, you had less regulatory. People were, people were hiding money. And then basically the trader overseas would be selling the stock, and the guys would be doing the marketing.
Your group never got into the actual selling of stocks. You were just the marketing arm of the stock.
Yeah, exactly.
That was trying to, market.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, did you ever get some home runs that you're like, this thing's going to fucking blow up?
The funniest promotion I ever did was a gay resort in Palm Springs that just had a business plan. They didn't even have land or anything. And
they were trying to find investors.
Yeah. So they had this public company with stock, and it was like this gay resort. We were dying laughing about it, and the stock actually did really well.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, did they raise enough money to build it?
I don't think so. I think it was just all a scam. But so what would happen was a lot of like serious people would hide behind. They'd put a CEO, like a straw man almost CEO. So you think you're dealing with somebody else, but in the background you have like the mob, or bikers or whoever. And so it was a very dirty game back then. And in my book I talk about this lady in Miami, and she essentially got busted with her husband. Her husband was the guy that did those Red Shoe Diaries. Remember when you were a kid, you jerk off to him like back in the day?
I don't know.
Red Shoe Diaries on
You're
HBO.
talking my dad's Hustlers.
Well, he did that show.
Oh, I think I remember.
It was like Red Shoe Diaries. It was always on HBO. So, anyways,
was it about escorts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like soft porn,
Yeah.
back in the day. And
so you met the guy that produced these?
Yeah. So it was her husband. She was in the stock world as a promoter.
And was she hot?
No. She was a fun lady. But she has over at her house, and her house was insane. Like boat dock, RV that looked like a tour bus. And I felt like we were getting recorded every time I was at her house. I just felt weird. Long story short, she's in my book. She got busted bringing in a ton of cocaine, and what she would do is she'd give the longshoremen stock, so these guys would all get stock in her companies to get her coke in, and so she got busted, and that was just a crazy story.
When you would be promoting or pitching a guy to retain your services, that's probably where a lot of the shady shit came down to, is the pitch, because not just everybody goes, oh yeah, Ben, we'll use your services. Let's sign a contract right now. You got to whine. I mean, they're like any client, right? You got to take care of them. You got to take them out to dinner.
Yeah, that was that was the whole thing. It's just I would take clients out, especially in our limo. We'd get them fucked up, show them a good time, close the deal.
Did you have any like bitches on retainer?
Oh, dude, so check this out. So when I lived in my house, before my wife moved in, I was a single dad. So my oldest son, so I had hot nannies, hot assistants. I was living in suburbia. I had an Aston Martin, Range Rover, the limo. So one of my neighbors was a former sheriff, and he sees this coming and going, right? My wife and I are walking the dog, and I'm talking to my sales guy, and I'm like, we'll get him addicted to our crack and our heroin. I was meaning our services, because our services were so good, and my phone was acting weird that day. And so long story short, I wanted to become a citizen. I was born in England. So 2008, I knew I was going to marry my wife, so I was going to take the citizenship test. But I got arrested at freaking Disney World because of this cougar, and that was all.
Now hold on, you got arrested at Disney World because of what cougar?
So that's,
you're all over the road here.
I know.
Friend.
I got a crazy life. So
so hold on. We didn't even get into the fact that you were born in England.
Yeah.
So at what age did you come over here?
I was 2. My mom was like Eminem's mom. She was married like 5 times. Terrible mom. So from 2 till 9, I lived in Tahoe. And then my grandmother passed away from breast cancer when I was like 10. So,
Tahoe's pretty affluent.
Yeah. Tahoe. We lived in a tiny little shoebox house.
Right.
And then
so from 2 to 9, Tahoe.
Yeah.
With your mom, and she's got some dude.
Yeah.
And then
my grandmother passed away in England from breast cancer. So next thing I know, I was on a flight to England, and after the funeral, I was put in foster care.
So your mom said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Yeah. Terrible mom.
Did you ever keep in contact with your real mom?
On my 40th, I'm 48 now. On my 40th birthday, because I have 5 sons, and I would do anything for those kids, and I just lost all respect for her, and just she was just like a toxic, I just didn't want to continue the relationship. So like on my 40th birthday, I blocked her, and I haven't talked to her since, and it's been lovely.
So what time do you move back here?
So I was.
You get fostered by some good people over there.
Yeah, great.
And is that where your last name Skull comes from, or is that from your actual real mom and dad?
No, so Skull comes from.
Do you know your dad?
Not really. He emailed me once, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm a man now. Like, fuck you. You had your chance, and
right.
I'm done. So
your mom and dad are both alive.
Yeah, they're both alive. I don't talk to either one of them.
Right. That's on brand.
But Ben Skull came from when I started my Jeep company, Skull Crushers. I didn't want to use my personal Facebook page, so I asked my team in India. I'm like, hey, what's a good name? And they started Ben Skull for Skull Crushers, and so everything's my name Skull now. I actually get credit card officers at my house for Ben Skull.
Right.
So
that's your alias. That's your Hollywood name.
Yeah, totally.
Now when you were going through all of your little companies and stuff, there was nothing to do with Ben Skull, right?
No. So
what were the names of them back then?
Man,
the very first company that you started, that you owned, what was the name?
It was called OTC Investor Source.
Just some fucking bullshit.
Yeah. And then it was so funny when I went to meet
OTC Investor Source.
Yeah, because we were working on the OTC market.
Sure.
But what was really funny is the last time I met with the SEC, they had all my corporations and stuff, and so I had Kool-Aid International.
Okay, so OTC
Investor Source,
Kool-Aid International.
Yeah, and then I put my name backwards, which was Nebtropolis.
Nebtropolis.
Yeah, so I'd get paid in.
Now, out of all the companies that you've owned over the years, and how much? Which company made the most money?
Probably OTC. OTC Investor Source. Like that was like my company from 2005 to like 2010.
From being fostered in England. How do you get to the States?
Yeah, so my mom, she married a Christian guy, really nice guy, and he said, I want to get your son out of foster care. So on my 14th birthday, they flew over to England.
Well, that's fucked up. So your mom comes back to over here, marries some dude.
Yeah.
That dude's like, hey, man, let's do the right thing, get your kid back.
Right.
And so they come and get you back.
Yeah, so they said, you know what, come try California for 30 days. If you like it, stay. If not, we'll fly you back.
You're going from England to fucking California where anything goes.
Right.
I mean, you can smoke weed. You can fucking do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they're so uptight in England.
Oh, they are. 100%.
I mean, they'll go and arrest you if you talk some shit on the internet.
I know.
They have internet police now.
Yeah, and I don't think I talk so much shit to the British government just because of how the country is now that I think if I ever flew back.
Yeah, I don't think I could be going over there.
I would.
Yeah, fuck England.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so you get back here.
Yeah.
Where are you at living at that point?
So from 14 to like 18, I grew up in Folsom outside Sacramento.
All right, so you're still in California.
Yeah, and then
you're kind of the white trash part of California, though,
totally.
Right? Yeah,
yeah, but it was a good town. Like we grew up crazy. Like everybody from Sacramento is crazy.
So then that puts you at 18, and then that puts you down to San Diego, and you.
From like 18 to 19, I tried to go to Chico, stayed up there. And I really just went and sold steroids and weed and And then I went to one class, and then I went on one of those trips, and it was to Mexico, but we went to San Diego, and I was at 1999. I was like, I'm moving to San Diego.
I've been to San Diego twice as visiting, and it's kind of I think it's the best part of California.
I agree, yeah,
by far, because it's still somewhat conservative.
Yep.
But the motherfuckers in L.A. and San Francisco are just absolute fucking
maniacs.
Yeah, just straight. All right, so you do you ever make it to Wall Street? I mean, do you ever actually live in New York?
No, I never lived in New York. Our company now, we have a corporate apartment in Manhattan, and so I'm out there probably once a month or every other month.
Right.
And then
Florida. So you're still dabbling in this shit.
Well, now, yeah. So now the company I work for, SLS, we do stock loans. And so it's like, we have a compliance guy. We do everything by the book, and it's refreshing. I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore. Whereas in the OTC world.
What was your most nervous world that you lived in that was like, borderline? They could be knocking the door down, and I'm going to go down like Leonardo DiCaprio did. And,
yeah.
And what
yeah.
Did you live that life?
Yeah. So how I crashed.
And it all seems like it's always the OTC guys.
It is. We're mainly
the over the counter penny stock motherfuckers.
Right. It just, and it's funny because like I've been around these guys for, my whole career, just a different breed of people, like just maniacs, sociopaths. So my breaking point, which changed my life, actually saved me, was my wife had broken down at Costco, and I had just taken 2 Xanax and 2 Theraflus because I was getting sick. So my wife calls me, and I'm like drooling on my pillow at this point.
You're like a fucking zombie.
Yeah. So she goes, my car overheated. I'm at Costco. I got the babies in the car. So I'm like, I'll be right there. So I threw on shorts and a sweatshirt. That was it. I go to change cars, and I'm like, the tow truck takes like 2 hours to get there. I'm hanging onto the bumper at this point. I'm like, fuck.
With your family?
Yeah. So, no, my wife took the car and went home.
Oh, so you're just...
I'm ready for the tow truck.
Right.
So the tow truck gets there. My buddy stayed open. He ran the Beamer dealership in our neighborhood. Throws me the keys to a brand new X5. It was like, probably $150,000 car. 100 grand at least. So it's got 5 miles on it. So I go to my meeting. I had a glass of wine in my meeting, and I'm driving in my neighborhood, and we lived on a hill at the time. So I'm driving through my neighborhood, and this song going up on a Tuesday was on, and I was blaring it. I turned the corner, and next thing I know, I hit the curb. I flew 60 feet into my neighbor's roof. I was so fucked up that I thought I was in some bushes. So I'm trying to hit reverse.
And you're in the car, and you're stuck in their house. Yeah,
the car calls 911. All the gun smoke from the airbag was going off. I'm like, so I take off my shirt. I wipe the steering wheel down because I kind of realized what happened. I grabbed like 2 or 3 cell phones. I left the rental agreement, and if you ever Google it, you'll see the back doors open. Well, my big ass jumped out of that back door down to the floor and then ran home. And we lived on a hill, so we could see like cops coming from every direction. My wife is like, she's like, "Where's the loaner car?" I know. I'm like, "Babe, I'll tell you in the morning. Like, go to bed." Like,
you're all fucked up.
All fucked up. Completely fucked up. So my dumb ass goes, and I look. The lot next to my house was empty, so I walk up there, and there's like a police helicopter, 10 cops, like, freeze. So I'm like, "Hey guys," walk them down. I'm super respectful. I was like, "Hey guys, it's slippery right here." They're like, "Damn, dude, your house is fat, do you want to tell us what happened down the street?" And I go, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Oh, there's a big accident." And I said, "I need to talk to my lawyer." So they take me to jail for like being drunk in public because they had nothing else they were trying to keep me so they could build a case about this crash.
Hold on, you didn't get charged for the crash or nothing?
No. So because I said I want to talk to my attorney, he couldn't talk to me. So I come to in jail, and I got this big, I call it the tiger scratch. I had a tiger scratch on my ass from one of the nails in the house jumping down. Because they took pictures of me, they had my shirt off. They were expecting a dead body or somebody to be bloody. I mean, this car was totaled.
Right.
They had to pull it through the guy's
Well,
house.
probably because you're so fucked up. That's why you didn't get that hurt, because you're just like,
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
like just a wet noodle, just going with the flow.
Oh, totally. I was so out of it. And then,
And I guess they didn't probably have surveillance back then.
right.
Like,
no, this was
or ring,
No. And so I call it in my book, I call it my Britney Spears breakdown, because at the time, all my buddies were getting subpoenas, going to jail. The FBI was setting people up in the stock market. It was just, it was like so stressful, and I was getting subpoenas all the time. So
how did you get out of that?
So so I go to court, and my
but can't the BMW place put you there?
No, well, so they had the rental agreement, but they, I said, like, I want to talk to an attorney, so they couldn't talk to me anymore. So my attorney, Mark Applebaum, he was ex-DA in San Diego, so I'm all dressed up for court. He goes in there and he comes out, gives me knuckles. He goes, "You're good to go." So I don't know what he did, what he said, whatever, but I spent $500 because that was my deductible.
Sure.
To fix their roof. I totaled George's. He had this like gay red Miata, so I totaled that and his other car. And this is the funniest thing: is 2 years later, I pull up next to him at a gas station. And he's got a dope, nice red convertible Lexus. So in my car, I'm like, "You're welcome, George."
Because you got your insurance. I mean, your insurance.
Yeah. So I fled to Nicaragua after this. There's news cameras outside my gate for like 2 weeks.
They were still trying to get you?
They were just like, who the hell like drives a Beamer through the roof? And they wanted to interview me or my wife. So I literally...
They wanted closure, kind of like...
Yeah, it was
like
all over the news.
How the fuck this guy get away with it?
Oh, yeah. I had clients in Hong Kong, Switzerland, call me and go, "Ben, I heard you're a crash test dummy." Like, it was embarrassing. It was like worldwide embarrassment. Now I think it's funny, but at the time...
So you fled?
Yeah, so I went
do you think at this point out you're still in trouble?
Yeah. So I was like, just wait. Really close friends to me, like the Sandman and the Canuck, the hockey player. These were like buddies of mine. They were, going to do serious jail time. And I never did anything wrong with them, but it was, with the government, it's guilt by association.
So all your guys are getting picked off. The whole OTC world's getting picked off.
Yeah.
Is it the reason why you're not getting you is because you're not a seller, you're just a marketer?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was on the subpoenas with all these kind of heavy dudes, and every single time I just took the fifth. I just was like, I'm never going to talk, like, fifth.
So how many of your guys went to prison?
I have at least probably at least 4 to 5 buddies that went to jail, did at least 3 to 5 years.
Right, they're all out now, right?
Yeah. The guy Sandman in my book, the broker, he just got out of jail. He's living in a halfway house, I think, in California. But it was crazy, and so that was kind of my breakdown. So the crash took me to Nicaragua. That was a really crazy story. So I meet this guy. He's got these butlers, and he goes, "Ben," he's smoking a cigar. He's like, "Ben, you must be really lucky the fact that you met me tonight." He goes, "I'm going to pick you up at your hotel, staying at the Intercontinental." He goes, "I'm picking you up tomorrow. I'll WhatsApp you." So he WhatsApp me. He goes, "Come downstairs." I go downstairs, and there's these 2 Helix trucks, like Toyota Helix.
Right.
With fucking red and blue lights, or red and blue lights. And I'm like, what did I just get into? These guys got guns all over the car. We're speeding through every light with the blue and red lights going on. And I'm just sitting there like, get myself into. So we show up, and it's this crazy big party. There's a stage with like those Maramba guys, and I'm the only white boy. And Nicaraguans are pretty short. I'm only like 5'9", but they're like pretty short. So I stuck out like crazy. And so next thing I know, this old lady comes up, and she's teaching me Maramba. And I'm like, I'm just going to get hammered and go with it. Well, the old lady was the general of the Army's birthday. It was his mother. Sorry. It was the general's birthday. And my buddy that I just met was best friends with the general. So I'm hanging out with these guys, and we'd go
Nicaraguan general.
Yeah.
Along with his wife.
No, his mom.
His mom.
Yeah, his mom was 98 years old, like teaching me Maramba in the middle of the party. And,
right, so just happened to be that's one of your guys that you met.
Yeah.
And your first night in Nicaragua, you're already at the general's house, fucking having a party.
Yeah, it was wild.
Did that make you a made man at that time, kind of? Or
well, yeah, it was like I stuck out, obviously, like a sore thumb in Nicaragua. So he introduces me to this like Colombian chick, right? It was like pretty, like the only good-looking girl there, I think. And she turns out to be a madam. Like,
All right, so she's running whores.
yeah, she's running for it. So like next thing I know, my buddy flies in and they bring like 30 chicks to our hotel.
And I heard, like, I mean, are chicks expensive?
No, dude, it's like free almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's like super
50
cheap.
bucks.
Yeah,
100 bucks.
yeah.
And these are, I mean, so
They weren't-
the Columbia girl that you get introduced to at the general's party is a madame.
Yeah.
And so you befriend her, and then she tells you, if you need bitches, I got them?
Yeah, basically, 100%. So that was like, so Nicaragua.
How were these bitches, you know, were they trying to fucking roll you, or were they just good, nice to have your business?
I think they just wanted the business. Yeah, but
Right.
there weren't a whole lot of good looking ones. I'll be honest. You know?
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty disgusting.
Really?
Yeah, there was a few good ones, but so then I just would, I was just partying in the jungle, doing coke and drinking, and kind of running from my responsibilities as a father.
That was your wife calling and saying, "Listen, motherfucker, when you coming back?"
Yeah, she flew in and found like Viagra's in my pocket with the kids.
Oh,
Threw Viagra's at me and was like, "I'm out." And
I'm
I was
out.
like, "Fuck."
And you're only 2 kids deep with her at this point.
Yeah.
You got
and-
2 more to go.
Right. And so so my buddy calls me and he's like, I'm popping a beer at 7 a.m, like doing a bump, and he's like, you Ben, you gotta come home. Like, your wife needs you. I was like, fuck. So he flies in.
So the party's over.
Yeah, basically 6 months later, and I was just
So, and you're only in Nicaragua, not to do business. You're not working. You're just laying low.
I was like looking at deals and like, doing a few things, but for the most part, I was just
Laying low.
Degenerate.
Now, I heard like hotels, like you can get like the baddest ass room for like $100.
Oh yeah, I stayed at the Intercontinental for like a month. It was like maybe $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
And then I got a place in Managua that was, it was like $900 or something, 2-bedroom, nice place. And
So you leave Nicaragua, you're clean.
yeah.
I mean, you're not clean as far as, I mean, you're still doing, I mean, now do you take all these bad vices home with you?
No, so
I mean, like, how do you get off coke and how do you get off all that shit
yeah.
to come back home to be a dad, a husband?
I quit everything cold turkey. I had a big talk with my wife, and just the fact that I hurt her so bad and did what I did really hurt me. And I was just like, you know what, I got to step up and be a man and be a dad. But I was just in that crazy life where I barely graduated high school, and then you get a kid that's in his 20s and 30s making crazy money. I got caught up in that whole life.
Was Nicaragua the shadiest part of what you've been through?
Oh yeah, I mean, so then after Nicaragua,
I mean, did you feel safe?
oh yeah, I mean, I knew everybody there, and then my other buddies that weren't the general side were like straight gangsters. Like one guy had killed a few people, the nicest people, but I was
also working for the general too.
no, these were just like friends I'd met.
Regular dudes.
One guy was like a famous comedian out there, and hung out with them and stuff, and then so after I got back to Cali, everybody still had heat. So I said, you know what, let's.
Now, is your company still going?
No, I basically kind of jumped out of the game at this point.
Set it all down.
Yeah, I just was like, I'm fucking done. Like, all these people
So at
going
this
down.
point, you come back, you got to reinvent yourself, like what you're going to do?
Well, so what I did is I sold we had a beautiful house in San Diego, like no neighbors, on a hill. I put the house for sale, sold the house, moved to Cabo. I gave my wife half the money. I moved to Cabo because I still knew there was a little bit of heat, even though I didn't do anything wrong. It's just like I was just in that mindset of like, let's just run away or just disconnect.
Heat from all the people that you'd done business with that ended up in prison and you didn't go, because you didn't flip on anybody.
No, I didn't
like that.
flip on anybody.
You got killed.
Yeah, I was just like
heat from this, just from the overall world of the shady.
I was still running.
OTC world in itself is just such a shady world.
Oh, it is, and like one of the big promoters in Montreal was part of the Montreal mob, and I became friends with him. He almost became like a father figure to me. He would do email blasts and stuff, and he was a marketer too.
Is all the promotional side of what you were doing, is it still around nowadays? Or and if it, and when you were doing it, was it all mob based?
It wasn't all mob based, but you would get, guys in the business that were mobsters, Hell's Angels. You'd get an eclectic group of people that were all characters, just like the lady and her husband in Miami. or the godmother in L.A. It was just a group of just crazy individuals. All of them could have their own show. Just
Right.
just weird people, and the money's so fast.
And these are like the Hell's Angels and the mob. Are they working for companies trying to get you the business, or just your friends?
It was a little of both.
Right.
Sometimes they would call me and go, "Hey, I got a deal for you." They'd refer me a deal. And at the point in my life I was at, I almost liked dealing with mobsters and bikers more because of their ethics. I was a guy that if I said something, I did it, and they respected that. And so that's why I think I got hired by a lot of these guys and had a relationship for so long with those guys, because I was just a straight up guy. And
in a fucked up world.
They loved all my crazy stories.
So you go back to your wife from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
You've shut all the businesses down, and at that point, you're figuring out what.
So
what are we talking about? Like what year?
So this was 2014, 2000. So we moved to Cabo.
Not that long ago.
No, yeah, not that long ago. So we moved to Cabo.
Family, the whole family?
Yeah, the whole family, my wife, the kids.
But you think you still got heat?
I didn't know. I was just kind of like, I didn't want to be in the business. I missed the money, but I was focused on building this Jeep company. And I sold our house and I just lived off the proceeds for 2 years. And honestly, it was the best 2 years of my life. I reset myself, kind of became a better man, better husband. And it was a reset.
Right.
So it did me a lot of good. But Cabo,
is that in Baja?
Yeah, it's in Baja.
Right.
And
when you look on a map, Baja seems pretty desolate, but is there a lot going on out there?
Oh, a ton. Now it's like Miami, like drinks are like $20. Back then it was like you get tacos on the beach for like $2.
Right.
I was just living the best life, know? So we put my kids in private school there. I shaved my head because it was my Britney Spears breakdown. This was after the car crash, obviously.
Right.
And my wife...
You got the car crash in Nicaragua behind you.
Yeah, I also crashed a car through a church in Nicaragua on their gate.
You did that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible driver.
But you got away with that one too?
I had to be in the police station for at least half the day, and the nun was super mad. I spent $1,000, bought him a new gate, and it was fine. I left the license plate was on their tree. So I'm driving, trying to find my neighborhood, and I'm driving on like just steel wheel.
In Nicaragua.
In Nicaragua.
So you're in Baja. Living the best life.
Yeah.
Not in the business, not fucking anybody over.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Killing.
Probably not really dealing with any, like mobsters or anything like that.
It was I just turned my phone off, and I was just enjoying that time with my kids, and I'd send my wife to the spa. We had a great little infrastructure. And so my wife, she's like, one day she's like, you got to meet my friend. I call him Carlos in my book. She's like, you got to go. He owns an off-road racing team. You love Jeeps. You guys have all this stuff in common. So eventually I'm like, all right, I'll go have drinks with him. So he tells me where to meet him. It's a restaurant that's closed. They opened up for us. And I'm showing him my car crash. I'm telling him all my crazy stories. And he felt comfortable enough to tell me what he really did. And he goes, I grew up in Sinaloa. I grew up with El Chapo. And he goes, do you want a job? Basically, he was part of Sinaloa cartel.
Right.
And I said to him, Carlos, I like my head where it's at. Like, I'm good.
Right.
And so our wives were like kind of like best friends. We'd go on double dates. And I never judged him, obviously.
But he was part of the cartel.
He was part of the cartel. And
high enough to offer you a job.
Right.
Right. Now, is he still around?
No. So check this out. So,
of course not.
Yeah. So at the time I was leaving Cabo. My wife's Latino. She was like, I'm fucking done with Mexico. I want to be back in the States. She's like, I miss Target and normal stuff.
Right.
So I said, okay. And I felt like I still had heat. So I moved to Tijuana. I moved out just outside. Well, my buddy.
Isn't Tijuana a shithole?
It's a shithole. I saw like some shooting one morning. Like there was a yellow tar.
Don't you have donkey bars down there? And all that
I never found one. I've been going down there forever, but I'm sure there is.
So you moved to Tijuana.
So I moved just outside on the beach. It's called Playas Tijuana, just outside there, and then I'd cross every day to see the family. And
they lived in San Diego.
San Diego, yeah. So
and you felt you. Why do you feel you got so much heat still?
It's just like because it was people that were so close to me
doing
like
time.
5 years, 3 years. But like one buddy,
Do you think that they flipped on you and they did, like,
you just never know. It was just
could you go back and read their paperwork and see what they said?
yeah.
I mean,
But a lot of stuff was like
redacted and shit like
and
that.
they'd put like CO1, CO2, so you didn't know who you could trust. And I'd be talking to somebody, and it was rampant. It was like.
So how many years were you kind of on the run with regards to, like, as you say, I got heat?
Yeah.
You had 5 to 7 guys doing Fed time. You don't know which one of those potentially implicated you, so you're kind of on the run. But realistically, you really weren't on. I
wasn't wanted.
Was it kind of in your head?
Yeah, it's like total paranoia and just kind of hiding from my responsibility.
Right.
I
So you had enough money to just be able to go fuck around.
Yeah.
But you thought you also might be, couldn't you? I think a person knows if they're wanted or not. Were you more in fear of your life? Like they got a hit on you?
No, it was always just like I was getting so many subpoenas and spending so much on legal that I was just like, I just want to get the fuck out of here.
And these subpoenas weren't criminal. They were just for you to testify against these bad guys?
Yeah, or get all my paperwork and see how I was involved.
Right.
If I was involved, stuff like that. So like each subpoena cost me anywhere from 10 to 20 grand. I got 7 of them.
Just to defend it.
And I didn't even do anything wrong.
Answer it.
Right. And I didn't even do anything wrong, but I'd be like, fuck, another 10 grand.
All right, so the family's in San Diego. You're in Tijuana.
Yeah.
From Cabo.
Yeah, so.
And you still, in your fucked up mind, think you got heat.
Yeah.
Even though you really ain't got no heat.
Right.
But, man, your wife is one hell of a strong woman
angel.
to put up with your bullshit.
Oh, my God.
I got to tell you that right
now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean,
she's going to heaven.
Most women, you're going to hell, and she's going right directly to heaven.
I always tell her.
Because you fucking put her through hell.
I always tell her, I said, you could become a serial killer and you're still going to go to heaven.
Oh, yeah. Putting up with your bullshit.
Yeah.
So you're in Tijuana. How long you in Tijuana for?
So I was in Tijuana for like
because you got heat. You think you got heat?
Yeah. So my buddy from Cabo, he moves his family up to Tijuana, and this was right when El Chapo got arrested for the last time.
Right. Which is fairly recent.
Yeah, it was 2015, I think, was the last time. So my buddy gets sent to Mexico City for a meeting to see.
Oh, your cartel buddy.
Yeah, to see
Now, he's living in Tijuana.
He's living in Tijuana.
He's full-blown cartel.
He's full Sinaloa, and there's, obviously other fractions like the Tijuana cartel. So long story short, he gets kidnapped in Mexico City. His wife sends them all his watches, all his cash, sends him everything. He never comes home.
Killed?
Yeah, definitely, I'm sure. And then the really crazy thing is that I met a girl in Cabo that actually had a baby with him, like randomly. Isn't that like the trip?
Really?
Yeah. It's like, can't even make it up.
So at this point, your buddies, you're in Tijuana. Your wife and kids are in San Diego. Your best friend or one of your friends is probably dead.
Yeah.
I mean, so at that point, at what point do you say, okay, I need
get the hell home?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I got to start acting like I'm an adult here.
Yeah, so yeah, it was funny because I was supposed to meet Carlos one morning for breakfast, and literally up the street there was police tape, a yellow tarp over a body, like shells everywhere, and I was like, you know what, it's time to go home and be normal. So that's when I started Skull Crushers, my Jeep company, because I didn't want to go back in the market.
Right.
And so I asked my son, who was 5 at the time, Benji, I said, hey, I'm going to start a Jeep company. What's a good name? And he looked at me and goes, Dad, Skull Crushers. And I was like, that's fucking good. So I went online. I tried to buy Skull Crushers with a C. It was $18,000.
Right.
Which was way out of my budget. I put a K, which looked better anyways. And it was $11.
Right.
And,
Daddy, $11.
Yeah. And so that company and growing it actually took me out of the stock world, out of all the heat, and it kind of saved my life, to be honest.
Right. When did you start Skull Crushers? When you got back from Tijuana?
Yeah, it was like 2017.
And what does Skull Crushers do?
We make Jeep parts, like inner fenders, gas caps, stuff like that. I really love the Jeep community because it was just like full of like, brotherhood, sister.
And San Diego's probably a big Jeep community.
It is. Yeah,
right,
for sure. And so that's kind of how that company started.
And Jeep shit's getting hotter every year. I mean, you see more and more of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's growing huge. And so now my buddy Kevin runs the company, and I'm back in the stock world.
Well, you're back in the stock world.
Yeah.
You just can't get enough, can you?
Well, now
You just want to get your fucking bullet in your head, don't you?
no, because now what I'm doing
Now
is
you're going to get more heat on you, and you're going to be in fucking, I don't know where the fuck you're going to be.
You'll see part 2 of my book. No, but now
You're back in a stock world?
yeah. So now what I love though is that we do stock loans for high net individuals. It's legal. We have a compliance guy in the office. There's no funny business like in the early 2000s. So I'm honored to work there. And I moved to Utah like a few months ago. Fucking cold.
What's Mama think about that? I mean,
Yeah,
fucking, I've gone from San Diego to fucking Cabo to Tijuana to San Diego. Now I'm back. Now I'm in Utah, home of the fucking Mormons.
Yeah, I love Mormons.
Now is Utah cool or?
Utah's amazing.
But you can't you can't buy no pussy or nothing in Utah.
Oh,
can you?
dude. Right. I live in Midvale. There's all these Asian massages. You wouldn't even think. Like I had to go try it
Well,
out.
the Mormons need jacked off.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
They
backed
got
up.
6 wives.
Yeah.
And, I mean, now, do you know anybody that has multiple wives?
No. I know a bunch of like my boss and his wife are normal and Mormon people, but I'd rather be with a bunch of Mormons than I was in San Diego.
I think you're going to be okay with the Mormons. They're not going to be, you're going to be polishing bullets in the back of your 300 fucking stretched out Lambo door fucking deal. I think the Mormons, I just think they want to be Mormons.
They just want to be Mormons.
They don't want, they don't want no problem.
No, exactly.
They're very, very peaceful people, aren't they?
They are. And I just feel, because we were living in San Diego in the hood in Escondido. And when I'm in California, I'm always like watching my 6 and kind of like, it's just hood. Whereas Utah is.
There is no hood, is there?
Is there
even a black person?
There's like 3. I think they're from like Sudan or something.
So in Utah now for the latter this part of your life.
Yeah.
Now, is this where you want to stay? I mean, like, do you have aspirations? Because you're a mover and a shaker now.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can get any heat. Well, I mean, you got Skull Crushers, right?
Yeah.
And that is ran by our buddy.
Our buddy, yeah.
And then you are back in on the is it the OTC world?
No,
or
now we're doing actual like real companies,
like wealth management kind of deal.
No, it's more like we'll work with directly with like larger shareholders or CEOs, and we offer them loans. So instead of selling their stock, we basically take possession of the stock.
So you'll give them a loan based on their stock collateral.
Exactly.
So like if a guy had 2 Bitcoin.
Yep.
What's Bitcoin going for now? 108?
I think it went down. It was like below 100 the other day. But yeah, we do loans on that.
So a guy says, "Hey, I got 200,000 of Bitcoin. I need to borrow." What kind of guy get on? Like what's his percentages?
So we usually do like
50%.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it, man. You come work with me. Yeah.
So you got 200. I'll give you 100. And what kind of interest am I paying?
It's actually only like 6 or 7% interest rate.
If you had some capital,
and
that's the business to be in.
100%.
I mean, fuck.
It's crazy. So,
but I don't want to get you in a bad business anymore, buddy. No.
Now I'm blessed. I'm great. So my family's going to move up to Utah. My wife has got.
Oh, she hasn't been there yet?
Well, to vacation and stuff, but she's a California girl.
She is not going to she's going to say, what the fuck,
I know. But you know what? You can live so much better. Like, gas in our neighborhood is like $4.
Now, what about housing? Like,
housing's amazing. Like, there's still good prices.
Like, what would cost $3 million in
San Diego?
In Utah, it's probably $9 million in San Diego.
Yeah, it's insane. Like,
plus, I mean, in San Diego, don't they get you like California state tax, San Diego city tax, county tax,
Newsom tax?
Yeah, the fucking
it's the worst state.
Utah, I don't think they have state income tax.
No, so I think it's or if they do, it's really low. But it's just the best state, most friendly, gun friendly. Thank God. Yeah. After I wrote the book too, I was like, I need some like actual real guns in my car.
Right, you don't need to be polishing bullets. You need to put something of those inside those bullets.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So Ben Skull, his book is called The Wall Street Mafia. As we went through a few of his stories from from England to back to America, and then back to England, turned back in to be a foster kid. And then who's the dude that saved you? Do you ever keep in touch with that dude that married your mom and said, let's go get our little motherfucker back?
Yeah, I talked to him.
That's the dude.
He's the dude. For sure.
For real, think about it. If that dude hadn't stepped up, where the fuck would you be?
I would be probably
over in England with bad teeth like
bad
the motherfucker.
Yeah, totally. And like stabbing people on the street or something.
Yeah, I mean, at the fucking local pub, drinking some fucking Guinness and
be a hooligan,
bitching about the fucking Prince Charles. I mean, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So who's that dude? But I mean, do you keep in touch with that dude?
Yeah, I do. We text every
Now, did your mom stay with him, or did she get?
No, she's married again, or I lost count. I can't deal with
that dude, man.
Yeah, he was a Christian and totally saved my life for sure.
Yeah, but what kind of mom gives her kid away? Like, I mean, what the fuck? Now I know moms. I have no problem with a woman or a younger kid, like a. Maybe like a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl gets pregnant. She just doesn't have any plans or means to raise a kid.
Yeah.
So early on, you there's, and it's big dollars now. You can get an adoption agency.
Right.
Literally they're there the minute you gave birth to the kid. You can literally hand a kid over, no questions asked.
Right.
Every state now has a drop off your kid policy at the fire station.
Yeah.
Where, like, if it's under. I think it's like under 10, but I mean, like, so there's like, I get
some situations
right. Where a woman wouldn't want their kid.
Right.
I understand that. I get that, but not after you've had him for, you were 4?
So from 2 to 9, I lived with her essentially.
Yeah. So she had you.
Yeah.
And then from 0 to 2, where did you live?
I was with my real father in England.
Okay, so you're with a parent.
Yeah.
Then she gets you back at 2.
Yeah.
You go 2 to 9 with this bitch.
Yeah.
And then at 9, you're no good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I was a bad kid.
7 year. I don't give a fuck how bad a kid you are, but like, what kind of a piece of shit mom?
I know.
Gives a 9-year-old away.
I know.
I mean, at that point, aren't you stuck with it? I mean, most normal thinking people would be like, okay, I got this little fucking 9-year-old. I got to raise it best I can.
Exactly.
Means one of the reasons why you probably acted out so much is because you didn't have any real parenting.
Exactly. 100%.
I mean,
for sure.
That's probably a lot of your of what's led you.
Why my life is so crazy.
So out of all the parents that you had, who was the one that loved you the most, that had the most positive influence?
Yeah, so there's really 2. Like the couple that took me in out of foster care lived across the street from my grandfather. That was Dick and Jenny, and they raised golden retrievers. And
was that at 9?
Yeah, it was from like 9 to 14. I lived with them, and
where was that in again?
That was in England.
That was in England.
And he was a former military guy, so he taught me every day to polish my school shoes because you had to wear a school uniform.
Right.
So
he taught you some discipline.
He taught me discipline. He would wrestle with me and teach me how to fight.
But wasn't abusive or anything like that.
No, I was really lucky.
There's a lot of times foster care breeds in, like inappropriateness.
Yeah, for sure.
Where the foster dad will be a whack job.
Yeah.
He'll go out and touch the kid,
Yeah.
And then these foster kids are fucked up anyway, so they don't say nothing. That family between 9 and 14 was probably the most positive influence.
Yep. And then my stepdad that got me to California.
Back when you were 14.
Yeah, from 14 to 18.
Do you keep in touch with him?
Yeah. We text and call and stuff. He got remarried. And I told him, I'm like, dude, best thing he ever did was divorce my mom. Like,
oh, yeah. I mean, your mom. And
poor bastard.
You really don't have a relationship with either parent.
No.
But you better quit fucking up, or your wife's going to leave you, and you're going to have fucking 5 kids that don't know who the fuck their dad is.
No, so now I'm old and boring. I'm in bed by 10. I go to conferences in Vegas or Miami. I'm literally in bed by 10 o'clock watching, like, Dateline. Like, I'm so normal now.
Watching degenerates like your old self.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, Ben, it was nice to meet you.
Thanks for having
me. Ben's book comes out now. As we speak?
Yep. It's out now on Amazon, and then it goes to 40,000 sites in the next few weeks, too.
It's Wall Street Mafia, The Absolute Power Corrupts. Ben Skull, that's his stage name. He also owns Skull Crushers, the Jeep company.
Yes, sir.
Which is, I think, ran by Bubba Army.
Yep.
And, man, it was great to hear your story.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you, my friend, and I look forward to keeping in touch with you.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, my man. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. All right, everybody, try to link and follow us. Hit the notification button. Especially, give us a thumbs up if you liked Ben's story. and appreciate you watching.